welcome back to my channel. I have something really exciting today. I don't often shop a lot of books at once. That normally only happens once a year when I go to the UK. But somehow I ended up with, how much? 11 new books. So I figured, let's do a haul. And that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you my 11 new books. Wait, there are 12 books. I have 12 new books. So scratch that. In this video, I'm going to show you my 12 new books. We're gonna start with these 4 books. Some of these books friends got for me in the UK and in the USA, and that is exactly the case with these 4 books. One of my friends goes to the UK multiple times a year with her camper van, and she always tries to pay a visit to the works because she knows me and some other of her friends love books. And she knows that that is a store that we love and that is very cheap. So she always tries to go to the works and she makes pictures of all the books, and we can just basically send her a list of the books we would like her to take with her for us. That's how I ended up with these 4 books. I have 2 books by the same author, and that is Hazelwood. I got Deep End. I think this is one of her latest releases. These 2 actually are her latest releases. I'm really excited for this one. I don't have a lot of Ellie Hazelwood books. I think I only have Checkmate, and this is the Dutch edition, but it is gorgeous. Oh, and I have Not in Love by her. That must be somewhere in the attic, still in moving boxes. But I've read more of her books, and I always really like her books. They're just so easy to read, and they're fun and light, and I love that in a lot of her books it involves female main characters that work in STEM, so they're really smart women, and yeah, I just always really enjoy reading her books, so I figured I would like some more, and that's why I asked her to take Deep End with her. I don't think this is a STEM romance. Well, she is a junior at Stanford, so she's smart at least. But she specializes in platform diving. That's really cool. The male main character is the swim captain world champion, all around aquatics golden boy. Yeah, so it's a sport romance revolved around swimming. I'm just really excited to have a different kind of sports romance, basically, because it's most of the time it's baseball, it's ice hockey, basketball, and never swimming. So I'll give this a go. And then the second book by Hazelwood that my friend brought me is her newest release, I think. Problematic Summer Romance, and I love this cover with the pink foiling. Oh, I did see this on TikTok. It's older man and younger woman. I don't often like age gaps, so we're gonna see if I like this book. It is again about a grad student and then a biotech guy. Any relationship between them could be problematic in too many ways to count, and Maya should just get over him. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to like the age gap, but I do love Hazelwood books, so we're just gonna give it a go and give it a chance and read this. And then I have another gorgeous book from the Works. The Works has a lot of great edges lately, I noticed. I think they're trying to do a lot more special editions, and I love that. I am not complaining, and that is the case with this book. Look at this gorgeous sprayed edge. Look, there's cameras, there's a pink red swirl. The cover itself is really stunning. This book is Let's Make a Scene by Laura Wood, and I did read, this is the second book in the series. This is the first book in the series, so Under Your Spell is the first book, and I really like this. It was just really fun to read. It really surprised me. Before this I never read anything by Laura Wood, and so when I saw that the Works had this edition with a sprayed edge, I just had to get it. And then the fourth and final book from the Works is Hexed by Emily McIntire. I have her entire Never After series because this is the 6th book in a Never After series. It's a dark romance series. It's about mafia and heirs to jewelry businesses. It's a dark romance series, and I don't have a lot of dark romance series, but I kind of like this series. It's not the best, I have to admit that. The first book, Hooked, was my least favorite in the series, but for some reason they're just really entertaining and easy to read, and sometimes I just kind of like that. So I just keep on reading this series. I have to read the 5th book, but since she stopped by at the Works, I was like, yeah, let's just get the 6th one, so I have the complete series. Then one of my best friends went to Florida, USA. She did only have 1 suitcase, but she did ask if she could bring a book home for me, and I did really want the 2nd book in the Throne of the Fallen series. I got this one at Barnes & Noble's. in San Diego myself, and it's this stunning edition. And the second book in the series also has a Barnes & Noble's exclusive, and that is blue, and it's stunning. But I asked her to take that with me, but the paperback wasn't out yet, so she couldn't take that home with her for me. But this is a spin-off series of Kingdom of the Wicked. I did read the first book in the series, but I do have to read the second and third. But then in the end, she sent me a picture of this edition. I did know that they had Barnes & Noble's exclusive of Kingdom of the Wicked series, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, please take that home for me. So she got me the third book in the series because I already have copies of the first and the second, not a special edition. I have them in different sizes. But basically I was like, I already have copies of that, so at first let's get a copy of the third book in the series, and then after that I can swap my other editions for prettier editions. I am suddenly in 3 book clubs. I told you that in my video last week. I went from 0 book clubs to 3 book clubs. And one of my book clubs, it's like a local book club in the next town over, and in August we read One Dark Window. So I got it, so I could annotate it, so we could talk about it in a book club, and I really just wanted a physical copy so I could do annotations. This is a really popular fantasy series. It's a duology, and it's a dark, spooky fantasy series. It's very different from romantasy. It is sort of a romantasy, but it's not light and fluffy like other fantasy series like that. I did say about this book, it's not very accessible. It's not for newer fantasy readers, I would say. It takes a while to get into the book. It took me about 120 pages to get into it because there's just so much world building, there's so much information, and it takes a while to understand everything that is going on. So I gave it 3.75 stars. Then we have another stunning edition with a sprayed edge. I have some good sprayed edge books in this book haul, by the way. I am going to a really fun book event at the end of September. It is a young adult fantasy book event, and there will be like bookish goodies to buy, but there will also be talks with a few authors and signings. And there was one author that I didn't read anything of yet, but I was really excited to start reading a book by her, and I figured it would be fun to just read the book before I go to the signing and then get her to sign my book. It's A Language of the Dragons, which is also on my September TBR. It's this stunning sprayed edge edition. I absolutely love it. What I know about this book is that it's set in 1920s in London, and there are just a lot of dragons living in London, and you can study the language of dragons and how to speak with them. And this is about a girl that studies that. Yeah, get an internship studying dragon language. But by midnight, Viv has started a civil war. So I'm really intrigued by this book, and I'm really excited to read it before I go to the event. Then I did go book shopping a few weeks. Sort of all these books before that sort of got thrown at me. Like, I just had to get it because friends were going over the UK and the USA, and I had to get that book for an event and for my book club. But I did also go book shopping with one of my besties in Utrecht in the Netherlands. The event that I'm going to, one of the authors is Danielle Jensen, and I love The Bridge Kingdom by her. And I already figured like months ago, oh, I want to collect that series. I want to have trophies on my bookshelf because I loved it so much. But I didn't have it yet. And now that the event was coming up, I figured I just have to go and get it so I can have it signed. So I did already read The Bridge Kingdom, but I loved it so much that I had to get a trophy. I am going to reread it, I think, soon, because I read this like 2 or 3 years ago, and I'm really curious if I love it as much if I do a reread. This is a romantasy series where Princess Laura is basically trained to be an assassin. She's trained in a group of girls, and one of them one day has to marry the king, or is supposed to marry the king. But they're all trained to be assassins. So whoever is going to be his fiance and his wife in the end will have to kill him. And she obviously ends up being that girl. Just really, it's a very fast-paced book. It's very easy to read. You fly through this. and it's just so much fun. Then on that book buying session, I also bought a book that I haven't read yet, but that I also really wanted to collect, and that is Part of Your World by Jimenez. Okay, this is gonna sound so weird, but I do have the second and third book in this series, and I've read those, but this is the first book in the series, and I haven't read it. When the third book in the series, Just for the Summer, came out, it was so hyped that I really wanted to read it, so I got that. And then after that, I wanted to buy the first book in the series, but I ended up accidentally buying the second. I thought Yours Truly was the first in the series, and it wasn't. And I also read that. So I still had to get the first book in the series, and it was finally the time for me to buy this book, Part of Your World. They are all interconnected standalones, connected standalones. Basically, they're connected, but they are standalones. I think the term said that, but just to make sure. Then you guys probably know I have a subscription to Illumicrate, and most of the times I get their Afterlight books, but I recently switched to their fantasy box. And I got my first book of that box, and it's this stunning edition. I already shared this on my Instagram last week, but the book that I got is Voidwalker by S.A. Maclean, and look at it, it's gorgeous. It has silver foil on the spine, some silver foil on the cover, this stunning back, and then, ooh, the sprayed edge, by the way, didn't even show you that. The cover itself also is really pretty. Here it is. I prefer the dust jacket, but this is also really pretty. And it is about a girl who is a smuggler. She has to steal some things, and she is a Voidwalker basically. She has, and of the power she's wielded since childhood, allowing her to see the secret doors between dimensions, to walk the void itself. So this stunning edition is an Illumicrate subscription book. I am really excited to read this. It's not on my September TBR, but I think this will be read very soon. Okay, we're nearing to the end. I only have 2 more books. And the next book is again a book club book, but this one is for September. Basically with my friend book club, with 3 of my friends, we just started last month when we read Silver Elite. Well, I really loved that, and most of us liked it. The next book we picked is Hurricane Wars by Thea, Guanzon. A very anticipated read for me. I have wanted to buy this so many times, and I've wanted to read this for so long, for over a year. I did order this on Vinted, and unfortunately it was packaged really bad, and it got damaged. There's like this really big, I don't know if you guys can tell, but fold over here. It says, "One lone light will stand against empire. Light wars against darkness." I don't really know what it is about, but we're gonna see and give it a try and read this in September. We finally made it to the 12th and last book of this video. I am yapping so much. And I didn't buy this myself. I got this gifted from one of the girls in my friend book club, and she works in publishing, and she had multiple copies of this one book. And so when we had our first book club, she decided to get some for us. And it's this really cute edition with this really cute sprayed edge. It is a college sports romance, I believe. She's not fond of her brother's rival, his slick comments, and that know-it-all attitude. Not even the fluffy hair, dreamy eyes, or body of a college soccer player help. Okay, love, there's a lot of bickering, it says, to leave their bickering behind. I love that in a romance. So this book is the 12th and final book that I got recently. Really excited to read it. And with that being said, that were the 12 books that I recently got. Let me pick up this stack. Oh, oh my god, that's really heavy. Oh, oh. Here we go. Anyway, I love all of these new books. I'm really excited to read them. Let me know in the comments which one you would be most excited about. And let me know if any of these I should include in a reading vlog or just in a general vlog. And which ones you would really like my opinion about and my review about. So I'll try to make sure to include them in videos. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with all of my upcoming videos. And with that being said, I hope to see you very soon in the next video. Bye guys! Doei!